Actually, the movie just turned 40 years old last month. Is 16 Candles, obviously.
Right.
Um, it came out in May of 1984, which is crazy. But I did not realize, actually, I think until I interviewed you about, I've interviewed you one other time 10 years ago when you first started playing live on, playing Thompson Twins songs live again. That song was never released as a single, was it?
That's right.
If you were here.
Yeah. I mean, I always had a great affection for that song. Um, but I guess people around us didn't consider it to be a front runner in terms of single release. Um, in a way, we were lucky. I remember getting a phone call saying someone wants to use it in a movie, and me saying, "Oh, that's nice," because that song needs a bit of recognition. And it turned out to have this iconic status only in the US, I have to say, in particular on the West Coast. In the UK, it's just an album track because
Well,
people didn't see that movie so much. And in fact, so here's the big admission: I've never seen the movie either
to this day,
to this day.
I assume you've seen the scene. It's literally the final scene, the
Yes,
romantic.
I've seen
uh,
the scene many
So
times because it
you've been
keeps going.
spoiled what happens.
Yeah, it keeps coming up on YouTube. Thompson Twins get used in a film, blah blah blah. And so I'm fully aware of it, and I've even met a lot of the people that were involved with the film, but I've never actually seen the film.
May I ask why? You don't have any, I mean, you could stream it. It's like avail like you could watch it if you wanted to. Are you just not
I
interested, or
suppose
would
today I could do that if I wished, but I mean, I guess I've just lived without it for so long that I can't find the time to catch up with things like that.
well, you
But
know how it ends, obviously.
yeah,
You got spoiled because I mean, spoiler alert, they get together in the end to your song. That song, as iconic as it is, it's, for a lot of people, their favorite Thompson Twins song. Maybe the reason that it wasn't a single, like, I actually didn't realize this until kind of relatively recently. It doesn't technically have a chorus, does it? Like a
that's right.
proper verse chorus structure.
That's right. It is an unusual architecture. So maybe that was one of the things. Also, it was very much I have to say this, it was very much a me song. I think I wrote the lyrics to that entirely. And I think perhaps Joe and Alana felt that it was too introverted and too me looking
Hmm.
into myself. And oddly enough, I think it does capture that kind of insecurity of teen romance, and wondering what happens when it all goes wrong and blah blah blah. Um, and perhaps we were in a mood for being a little bit more, I don't know, confident and bodacious about things.
Your voice actually even sounds a little different on it. It doesn't, because in songs like, Doctor Doctor or whatever, you're singing in a
Sure.
very, big,
Yeah.
robust voice, and that
Well, I
you
do remember having trouble coming up with the right approach to singing it in the studio, and I ended up lying on the floor and having a microphone above my head, and I sang the whole thing lying down on the floor. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really interesting. Um eh, I'm not a singer myself, so can you enlighten me as to like why that would be the choice for that song, like how it would
I
affect
want
your voice?
because there was a confessional aspect to it that was in a way naively sexually charged as well. So I wanted it to sound like I was in bed whispering the song in someone's ear.
Oh, okay. You know what? It worked. Now you said all this, I assume you're going to play that song when you tour starting this month.
Yes, for an American audience, it's almost obligatory.